Reolink sent over 3 of their rather impressive security cameras. One ultra-wide-angle camera, the Argus 4 Pro, one pan and tilt camera, the Argus PT Ultra, and one video doorbell, specifically the Wi-Fi version. And in this video, I'm going to get them all set up and show you why I really like them. Let's start with the video doorbell. In the box you get everything you could need to set it up: the doorbell itself, a remote chime, a power brick and power cables, plus a handy drill guide and mounting plate, and even an angle plate too. This can be powered from either DC or AC and can even be connected via Ethernet if you don't want to use the Wi-Fi that's built in. Although if you are going to use Ethernet, you'll probably want to go with the PoE Power over Ethernet version instead. You've also got a MicroSD card slot for onboard local recording. The doorbell itself is a pretty sleek, rounded design with a large illuminated button at the bottom and the camera up at the top. Setup-wise, it's pretty simple really. You'll need to drill a couple of holes to mount the angle plate to the wall, assuming you want to use it, remembering to run the power from behind it first, and then insert the wall plugs and screw the plate down. You can then screw the metal brackets and plates into the angle plate, or if you're not using the angle plate, just screw that into the wall, and then hook up the power to the camera, and lastly, clip the camera into place. Setup, software-wise, is pretty easy. You'll need to point the camera at your phone's screen to let it scan a QR code with your Wi-Fi information, and then it will just connect itself and you're pretty much ready to go. It will automatically connect to the chime as well once you plug that in, and anytime someone rings the bell, regardless of your phone notification settings and such, it will still ring the chime as a normal doorbell would. With that said, the video aspect of this is what most people will be interested in, and it's actually pretty good. It seems to give you just shy of a 1000 by 1000 video file. It's 896 by 672 at 20 FPS and 1.3 megabit per second bitrate. And it's ridiculously wide angle. It's a proper fisheye camera, giving you plenty of visibility. Here's a look with some motion. You've also got a night vision mode with infrared LEDs. Here's a look at the nighttime performance. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this. It gives you a push notification for motion detection, and of course when someone presses the button as well, you'll get a notification for that too. You can do two-way talk through it if you need to, although there is a touch of a delay even on the same network. You can adjust quite a lot of the different settings too, like the motion sensitivity or the day and nighttime switchover level, plus record clips directly if you want to, or access the saved recordings from the microSD card. The good news for this camera is that if you have something like Home Assistant set up, you can actually connect this to Home Assistant really easily and just have it feed the RTSP stream straight into HAS. That is fantastic for the whole local control and ownership idea that Reolink actually emphasizes pretty well. There are no cloud subscriptions required here, and I'm here for that. Right, let's get on to the next camera, which will be this, the Argus PT Ultra, a battery-powered pan and tilt camera that offers a full 4K resolution at 15 FPS and up to around 3 megabits per second of bitrate. It too has a microSD card slot that you will want to populate for local recording, and the real fancy feature here is that you can get this with one of these, a 6-watt USB-C solar panel that can basically trickle charge the camera all day, meaning you don't need to run any wires to this at all. Just screw it down, or in my case, I've mounted it to a post with the included strap mounts, both to the camera and the solar panel, and then it just runs as the same setup as the doorbell. You scan a QR code from your phone and that's pretty much it. It's good to go. When connected via the app, you can control everything you would expect, including moving the camera up, down, left and right. It's a little slow with a second or two delay, but it's easy enough to get it placed where you want it looking. Here's a look at some motion on this one as well. Pretty decent, right? The camera does have spotlights built in, plus an IR night vision mode, so regardless of the time of day, you should be able to see plenty. There are a couple of limitations to these battery-powered cameras that you should probably know about, namely that to save on battery life, you can't get an RTSP stream from these, meaning you will have to use Reolink's app to access your footage. You won't be able to connect it to, say, Home Assistant, for example. You also can't seem to automate the pan and tilt movement. That's something that I was kind of hoping you could do as a sort of like patrol. You know, while it isn't a big deal, it would be really cool to be able to set a schedule for where the camera looks. Still, the image quality is great, and the fact that you don't need to run a single wire to this makes it a really easy setup. And lastly, we have the brand new Argus 4 Pro. I actually did a full video on this one already, so if you want to see a complete review, I'll leave that in the cards above, but seeing as we're using it as part of this setup, I think it's worth taking a look at that here. Much like the Argus PT Ultra, this is a battery-powered camera with a 6-watt solar panel. Although this one is an ultra-wide-angle view, in fact a full 180-degree field of view thanks to dual cameras offering a 5120 by 1440 frame at 15 FPS and around 2 megabits per second of bitrate. Daytime views are frankly fantastic. In fact, the image quality is genuinely like vibrant and sharp, although the real magic is at night. This doesn't have an infrared mode, because frankly it doesn't need it. Here's what it looks like at night. It's full color and remarkably sharp, despite this being what it looked like to our eyes at the same time. There is a bit of movie magic going on for sure, but it's still plenty clear enough to make out faces or cars, which is exactly what you want to see. Between the three cameras, I think we've got a pretty comprehensive setup. I think that the Doorbell camera is the one that I'm most interested in because it's the sort of most new to me functionality and features. The Argus 4 Pro is excellent though, and the Argus PT Ultra is really cool to have as well. Of course, if you are interested in any of these cameras, I will leave a link in the description, but for me, the main thing that sort of draws me to these cameras and why I generally recommend them is that Reolink isn't pushing the whole cloud subscription is required model, even for the battery-powered cameras, which are still somewhat proprietary in an effort to save their battery life. The fact that these are all local recording onto MicroSD cards, and that is, especially for the powered cameras like the Doorbell, you know, fully accessible for something like Home Assistant or Frigate, that's a really cool benefit that a lot of camera manufacturers aren't sort of, let's say, selling for right now. And so that's why I'm more interested in these than perhaps I maybe should be. Either way, if you are interested in them, like I said, I'll link them in the description. If you are interested or actually have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos, probably not quite like this one, more general tech reviews and stuff like that. You can hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification icon, and check out plenty of other videos in the end cards as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, we'll see you all in the next video.